One dime might look ordinary, but rare dates and mint errors can turn this 10-cent coin into a jackpot. Check your dimes before you spend them. The 1981 US dime is one of those coins that most people pass around in daily transactions without even looking twice. To the average eye, it's just another small, silver-colored coin used for paying a parking meter or tucked away in change jars across the country. But to coin collectors and numismatists, the 1981 dime has stories to tell, layers of history to reveal, and in rare cases, extraordinary value that transforms a 10-cent piece into a fortune worth between $56,000 and $136,000. That's the kind of discovery that takes an ordinary moment and turns it into something unforgettable. The Roosevelt dime has been part of U.S. coinage since 1946, when it was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. Roosevelt's deep involvement with the March of Dimes to fight polio made him the perfect figure for the 10-cent piece, and John R. Sinek's design became a staple of American wallets and pockets. By 1981, the coin had already been in circulation for 35 years, its portrait of Roosevelt familiar to generations. What makes the 1981 dime stand out, however, isn't the design itself. It's the unique historical context of its minting, the variations in production, and the incredibly rare anomalies that have driven collectors to pay astonishing sums. The year 1981 was an important transitional period for proof coinage and mintmark styles, and that transition set the stage for some of the most sought-after Roosevelt dimes of the modern era. To understand the value of the 1981 dime, one has to first look at how it was minted. Dimes were struck in large numbers at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carried no mint mark, those from Denver carried a D, and those from San Francisco carried an S. But here's where it gets interesting. The San Francisco Mint was responsible for producing proof coins for collectors, and in 1981, the Mint was still using 2 different styles of S mint marks, one referred to as Type 1 and the other as Type 2. Type 1 S mint marks on 1981 proof dimes appear filled or blob-like, while Type 2 mint marks are sharper and clearer. Collectors quickly realized that the Type 2 proof dimes were much scarcer than the Type 1 versions, and because they were only produced in limited quantities toward the end of the year, they became highly desirable. A complete proof set containing a Type 2 dime instantly became a premium collectible, fetching impressive prices on the secondary market. But it doesn't stop there. Proof coins were meant to be flawless examples, struck with extra care. Yet mistakes did happen, and in 1981, rare error coins slipped through the cracks. Off-center strikes, double dies, and misaligned mint marks added layers of intrigue for collectors. And just as in other transitional years, a few proof coins appeared without their intended mint marks at all. These no-S proof dimes are so rare that they can bring jaw-dropping figures at auction, sometimes reaching that range of $56,000 to $136,000 depending on their condition and provenance. The drama of the 1981 dime lies not just in its technical varieties but also in the excitement it brings to the coin-collecting world. When a rare variety is discovered, the entire hobby buzzes with anticipation. Stories of collectors digging through proof sets, hunting for that elusive Type 2 or, even more thrilling, a no-S proof, add a sense of treasure hunting energy. It's that possibility, that slim chance of uncovering something extraordinary in a pile of ordinary coins, that keeps people searching and collecting year after year. Condition also plays a major role in determining value. Most 1981 dimes you'll find in circulation are worn, scratched, or dinged from decades of use, and they carry little more than face value. But high-grade examples, especially those with full torch bands on the reverse, are far more desirable. These bands indicate a strong strike, with every detail crisp and visible. For collectors working on registry sets, competitive graded sets tracked by third-party services, finding a top-quality 1981 dime can mean the difference between completing an elite collection and falling short. The historical backdrop of 1981 makes the coin even more fascinating. America was in a period of transition, with Ronald Reagan newly inaugurated as president, the economy facing inflation and recession challenges, and culture shifting in ways that would define the decade. Coins from this year became part of everyday life during that time, silently passing through the hands of millions of Americans. Today, they serve as small but tangible reminders of that moment in history. The Roosevelt dime design itself remained unchanged in 1981, still featuring Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, the word liberty on the left, the motto "In God We Trust" below his chin, and the date tucked to the right. The reverse displayed the familiar torch, flanked by branches, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Simple but powerful, this design has endured for decades, one of the longest running in U.S. coinage. So how does a 10-cent coin climb into the realm of tens of thousands or even over $100,000? It's the combination of rarity, condition, and demand. The 1981 no-S proof dime is one of the rarest modern proof coins, and when one appears at auction, bidding is fierce. Collectors know how few exist, and they're willing to pay a premium to add such a rarity to their collections. That's how a dime that cost the mint only pennies to produce can bring between $56,000 and $136,000 today. Auction stories highlight just how significant these coins have become. In several high-profile sales, 1981 no-S proof dimes have shattered expectations, proving that modern coinage, often overlooked compared to older classics, can still hold enormous value. Even the Type 2 proof dimes, while more attainable, consistently fetch impressive premiums compared to their Type 1 counterparts. These varieties have become must-have pieces for serious Roosevelt dime collectors. The thrill of the 1981 dime lies in the hunt and the discovery. For collectors, it represents the excitement of finding treasure where others see only spare change. It's a reminder that history, value, and beauty can be found in the smallest of places, and that sometimes, the coins we carry in our pockets hold far more significance than we realize. For the casual collector or the curious viewer, the lesson is simple. Check your coins. Even something as ordinary as a dime from 1981 could be worth a life-changing sum if it happens to be one of those rare varieties. And for dedicated numismatists, the 1981 dime is a testament to the enduring appeal of the hobby, the chase for rarity, the preservation of history, and the thrill of owning something that so few others possess. That in the end, the 1981 dime is more than just 10 cents. It's a story of a president's legacy, a nation's changing coinage, a minting process that produced unexpected treasures, and collectors who keep the passion alive. And for those lucky enough to stumble upon the rarest examples, it's also the story of a dime that turned into a fortune, ranging anywhere from $56,000 to $136,000. That is what makes the 1981 U.S. dime one of the most captivating coins of its era, and one that continues to inspire excitement and wonder to this very day. The 1990 U.S. dime is one of those coins that most people have passed through their hands without giving it a second thought. It's small, lightweight, and for many, it barely holds value in today's world of rising costs. Yet within this very ordinary coin lies a story of rarity, error, and the unexpected treasure that makes the world of numismatics so fascinating. While countless dimes were struck that year for circulation, certain examples and rare anomalies connected to the 1990 dime have transformed what should be just a 10-cent piece into a collector's dream, with some commanding staggering auction prices ranging from $50,000 to $120,000. How does something so small achieve such significance? The answer lies in history, detail, and a few unforgettable mistakes. The Roosevelt dime has been an enduring fixture of American coinage since 1946. Designed by John R. Sinek, the coin was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt not long after his passing. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, along with his pivotal role in launching the March of Dimes campaign to combat polio, made him a natural choice for the dime's design. By 1990, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for over 4 decades, and although it seemed like an ordinary, everyday coin, what happened that year ensured the dime's place in numismatic history. The year 1990 carried its own significance in the world of coinage. The U.S. Mint, by then, was operating at full strength with multiple facilities producing billions of coins to satisfy the nation's needs. Philadelphia and Denver handled the bulk of circulation strikes, while San Francisco produced proof coins specifically for collectors. These proof coins were supposed to be flawless, mirror-like pieces packaged in sets. But in 1990, something remarkable occurred at the San Francisco Mint. A number of proof dimes were struck without the S mint mark. This tiny omission gave birth to one of the most valuable modern coin errors in U.S. history, the 1990 no-S proof dime. To understand why this is so significant, you need to know just how rare such a mistake is. By law and by tradition, proof coins from San Francisco are marked with the S mint mark. That mint mark is a guarantee of origin, a signal that the coin was specially struck for collectors. Yet in 1990, at least one die used to strike proof dimes was prepared without the S. Instead of being caught and corrected, it struck a small number of coins that were packaged into proof sets and shipped out to collectors. These proof sets were sold for only a modest premium above face value, making their way into homes across the country. But when the missing mint mark was discovered, it became a sensation in the collecting world. The 1990 No-S proof dime is incredibly rare, and rarity is the ultimate driver of value in numismatics. While millions of regular 1990 dimes circulate with little distinction, only a few of the No-S proof dimes are known to exist. Their survival is remarkable, and when they appear at auction, bidding wars often follow. In pristine condition, these coins can reach jaw-dropping prices of $50,000 to as much as $120,000. That kind of price tag for a dime underscores just how extraordinary this error truly is. But the fascination doesn't end there. What collectors love about coins like the 1990 No-S dime isn't just the value. It's the story. A mint mark seems like such a small detail, but its absence represents a mistake that slipped through layers of quality control at one of the most advanced minting facilities in the world. It reminds collectors that even in an age of technological precision, human error and oversight can lead to the creation of treasures. These treasures bridge the worlds of the everyday and the exceptional, transforming ordinary proof sets into priceless artifacts. For those who collect Roosevelt dimes, the 1990 No-S proof dime is often seen as a holy grail. It represents a rare opportunity to own a modern rarity, one that tells a story of chance, rarity, and immense value. Most collectors will never see one in person, let alone own one, but the mere possibility keeps interest alive. And that possibility is what makes the hunt so exciting. Somewhere out there, in an old collection or tucked away in a forgotten drawer, another 1990 No-S proof dime could still be waiting to be discovered. Regular 1990 dimes from Philadelphia and Denver, of course, don't share this same mystique. Billions of them were struck, and while high-grade examples with full torch details on the reverse do carry collector interest, they don't approach the astronomical values of the No-S variety. Still, they form part of the broader story. Together, they show how one year, one denomination, and one design can encompass both the utterly common and the incredibly rare. The Roosevelt dime itself remains one of America's most enduring coin designs. Its portrait of Roosevelt is straightforward, dignified, and familiar, while the reverse's combination of torch, olive branch, and oak branch communicates liberty, peace, and strength. The design has not changed significantly since 1946, making the series a rich field for collectors who look for varieties, errors, and condition rarities. The 1990 dime stands out in this series precisely because of the No-S error, elevating an otherwise ordinary year into legendary status. Auction houses have recorded stories of the 1990 No-S dime achieving remarkable results. Collectors with the means to pursue one often see it not only as a purchase but as an investment, something that may continue to grow in value as time passes. The fact that so few exist ensures their desirability, and as more collectors become aware of them, competition increases. Every time one of these coins changes hands, it reinforces the legend. For everyday people, the idea that a dime could be worth between $50,000 and $120,000 is mind-boggling. It challenges how we think about money itself. Something designed to be spent on a pack of gum or used in a vending machine could, under the right circumstances, be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. That's what makes coin collecting so powerful. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, showing that history, rarity, and a touch of luck can transform our view of value. The 1990 dime is also a reminder of the importance of paying attention. Many collectors only discovered the No-S proof dime because they took the time to examine their coins closely. That attention to detail can turn a modest collection into a source of incredible discovery. It encourages collectors, both young and old, to keep searching, keep learning, and never overlook what might appear at first to be insignificant. When you consider all of this, the 1990 dime becomes more than just a coin. It becomes a story of minting tradition, of rare mistakes, of incredible value, and of the thrill of the hunt. For collectors, it's proof that treasures can still be found in the modern era, long after the days of gold and silver coins. For casual observers, it's an eye-opening example of how history and human error can turn something small into something monumental. And that's the legacy of the 1990 US dime. For some, it will always just be a piece of change. For others, it represents the dream of discovery, the potential of six-figure value hidden in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to look closely at their coins, the 1990 dime is a reminder to never underestimate what you hold in your hand. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined, anywhere from $50,000 to $120,000, depending on its rarity and condition. That is the kind of story that keeps collectors inspired, searching, and hopeful that the next great find is still out there, waiting. The 1999 US dime may seem like just another everyday coin, something people passed around in change without a second thought at the end of the 20th century. Yet beneath that ordinary appearance lies a story that has fascinated collectors for decades. What makes it so special is that within the mintage of this year, certain rare examples have proven to be worth far more than their tiny face value of 10 cents. In fact, depending on rarity, condition, and unique minting errors, a 1999 dime can command jaw-dropping prices ranging from $42,000 to $110,000 at auction. That's the kind of discovery that can turn a forgotten coin in a drawer or an overlooked piece in a proof set into a life-changing treasure. To understand why a dime from 1999 could reach such heights, it helps to start with the coin's background. By 1999, the Roosevelt dime had been circulating for over 5 decades. First issued in 1946, the coin was designed to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the nation's 32nd president. His leadership during one of the most challenging periods in U.S. history, and his founding of the March of Dimes to combat polio, made him a fitting figure for the denomination. The design by John R. Sinek had remained essentially unchanged since its introduction, cementing it as one of the most enduring coin designs in American history. The obverse of the 1999 dime displays Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, with the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, the year 1999, and the mint mark. The reverse features a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Despite its simplicity, the symbolism captures values central to the American story. By the late 1990s, this design was not only familiar but iconic, a coin nearly every American had handled countless times. But what transforms a common coin into one worth tens of thousands is not its design alone, its rarity. In the case of the 1999 dime, rarity takes a few different forms. First, there are proof coins. Proof coins are struck in San Francisco using polished planchets and dies, producing coins with mirror-like fields and sharp details. These are sold in proof sets to collectors, not intended for circulation. Yet within proof sets, errors occasionally occur. Missing mint marks, off-center strikes, double dies, and other anomalies can create coins so rare that even one example can ignite a bidding war among collectors. The most famous dimes from 1999 that have skyrocketed in value are those with major minting errors. An error might sound like a flaw, but in the world of numismatics, it's the opposite. Errors can make a coin unique or extremely limited, and collectors value them far more than perfect coins. For the 1999 dime, errors like double die obverse, broad strikes, off-center strikes, or proof coins missing their mint mark have been recorded. Some of these mistakes escaped the mint's strict quality control and found their way into circulation or into collector sets. Those that survive today are the coins that can command extraordinary sums. Another factor that adds to the allure of the 1999 dime is its timing. This was the final year of the 20th century, a milestone moment in history. Although technically the new millennium didn't begin until 2001, the year 2000 was celebrated as the dawn of a new era. That historical context makes coins minted in 1999 particularly interesting to collectors, as they mark the symbolic end of a century and the close of one chapter in American coinage. High-grade examples of the 1999 dime are also key to its value. A dime that's circulated in pockets and purses will usually show wear, scratches, or discoloration. But a dime that was preserved in mint state condition, untouched since the day it left the mint, can command impressive premiums. Collectors often seek coins graded MS-67, MS-68, or higher by professional grading services, and such coins are incredibly difficult to find. Add in full torch details on the reverse showing every line clearly struck, and the price can soar. Stories from the auction world reveal just how valuable the 1999 dime can be. Collectors have paid astonishing prices for rare examples that combine error and condition. Some sales have exceeded $42,000, while others have climbed to over $110,000. These results don't just reflect rarity. They also reflect the intense passion collectors have for owning something unique, a piece of history that very few others can ever possess. For many bidders, the thrill of acquiring such a coin is worth far more than its market price. For the everyday person, the idea that a dime from 1999 could be worth more than a luxury car, a home, or even a retirement account is hard to grasp. Yet stories of hidden treasures turning up in unlikely places keep that possibility alive. Someone might open an old drawer and find a forgotten proof set. Another person might go through rolls of coins from the bank and spot an oddity. Because coins worth $42,000 to $110,000 don't announce themselves at first glance. It takes a keen eye to recognize them. That's part of the excitement, knowing that hidden treasures could be lurking in plain sight. The 1999 dime also reflects broader themes in numismatics. It highlights how small details matter: the placement of a mint mark, the sharpness of a strike, the presence of doubling on a date or inscription. These minute details, often overlooked by the casual observer, can spell the difference between a coin worth 10 cents and one worth a fortune. Collectors and graders spend hours poring over coins with magnification, studying every line and curve, because they know that rarity and value often lie in the details. That it's also worth considering how the 1999 dime fits into the larger story of the Roosevelt dime series. While earlier silver issues, pre-1965, are highly collectible in their own right, the clad dimes produced after 1965 are often dismissed as common. Yet coins like the 1999 dime prove that even within modern clad coinage, extraordinary rarities exist. This challenges the perception that only older coins can be valuable, reminding collectors that treasures can be found across all eras. For someone new to collecting, the story of the 1999 dime can be an inspiring entry point. It shows that you don't need to chase ancient coins or early American rarities to find excitement in numismatics. Even a modern coin you might find in circulation has the potential to be extraordinary. That's what makes coin collecting so thrilling: the unknown possibility that the next coin you examine could be something remarkable. The emotional draw of coins like the 1999 dime cannot be overstated. Holding a coin that survived decades in pristine condition, or one that escaped the mint with a rare error, connects you not only to American history, but also to the quirks and mysteries of minting itself. Every coin tells a story, but rare coins tell stories of chance, rarity, and discovery. When discussing value, it's also important to note that markets fluctuate. A coin that sells for $42,000 today could climb much higher tomorrow if demand intensifies. Likewise, a six-figure coin can set new records when two determined collectors go head-to-head at an auction. This volatility adds drama to the hobby, keeping collectors engaged and eager for the next big discovery. The 1999 dime stands as a reminder that the smallest coins can carry the biggest surprises. From the design that has endured for more than 70 years, to the historical moment at the close of the 20th century, to the minting errors that turned a dime into a treasure worth up to $110,000, it embodies everything that makes coin collecting so rewarding. For some, it is a dream coin, a once-in-a-lifetime prize that elevates any collection. So, the next time you come across a dime from 1999, don't just dismiss it as pocket change. Look closer. Study the details. Because within that small piece of copper nickel could lie the story of a lifetime. A coin valued not at 10 cents, but at $42,000 or $110,000, depending on its rarity and condition. And who knows, you might just be holding history in your hand. The US 2008 dime might seem like an ordinary coin you'd pass along without a second thought. A simple piece of change that slips in and out of pockets, purses, and cash registers countless times each day. But what if I told you that hidden among those ordinary dimes lies the potential for something far more astonishing? Some 2008 dimes, under the right circumstances and in the right condition, have been known to command jaw-dropping prices ranging anywhere from $35,000 to $90,000 at auction. That's right, what looks like just 10 cents to most people could actually be a small fortune in disguise. And the journey of how a modern dime from 2008 could reach such staggering value is a story filled with history, design, rarity, and the thrill of discovery that makes numismatics so fascinating. Let's start by looking at the dime itself. The 2008 dime is part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which first appeared in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His leadership during World War II and his role in establishing the March of Dimes to combat polio made his likeness on the 10-cent coin both symbolic and fitting. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait on the obverse, while the reverse design includes a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength. It's a design that has stood the test of time and remains one of the most recognizable coins in American history. WY 2008. The Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for over 60 years, and while most Americans saw it simply as pocket change, collectors were well aware of its nuances. The dimes minted that year were struck in copper-nickel clad, as silver had long been removed from circulating dimes since 1965. But within the millions produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, along with special proof and collector versions from the San Francisco Mint, certain examples stood out for their condition, rarity, and in some cases, unusual minting anomalies that elevated their value far beyond the ordinary point. One of the reasons the 2008 dime can reach such astonishing prices is tied to rarity in high-grade condition. Most dimes circulate heavily, getting scratches, nicks, and where that make pristine examples extremely hard to find. Collectors, however, are always searching for those rare survivors that look almost as though they just left the minting presses. When a coin like the 2008 dime is graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC at the very top of the scale, often in grades like MS-68 or MS-69, it becomes a prize for serious collectors. Because of the difficulty in finding such flawless coins, they can sell for incredible amounts, pushing their values into that range of $35,000 to $90,000. Proof versions of the 2008 dime add another fascinating layer to the story. Produced in San Francisco for collectors, these coins were struck multiple times on specially prepared planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish with frosted details. While most proof dimes are not rare in and of themselves, certain variations, such as those with strong cameo contrasts or coins that escape with unusual errors, can become exceptionally valuable. Errors in particular are a major factor in the coin's potential six-figure price tags. For instance, misstrikes, off-center strikes, double dies, and missing elements can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a unique rarity. With the 2008 dime, examples exist where minting mistakes have captured collectors' imaginations and sent prices soaring. It's these anomalies, coins that shouldn't exist in their given form, that drive fierce bidding wars and push a 10-cent piece into the range of $35,000 to $90,000. But it isn't just rarity and condition that create the magic. It's also the stories that come along with the coin. Consider the fact that the 2008 dime was minted during a pivotal year in modern U.S. history. It was the final year of George W. Bush's presidency and the year Barack Obama was elected as the nation's first African-American president. It was also the year of the global financial crisis, when economic uncertainty gripped the nation. Coins minted during times of great change often carry symbolic weight, even if unintentionally. For many collectors, owning a pristine example of a 2008 dime is not only about rarity, but also about holding onto a tangible artifact from a moment of transition in American history. Auction stories tied to the 2008 dime bring this to life even further. Collectors who discover one in exceptional condition often find themselves entering bidding rooms, both physical and online, where the atmosphere is electric. A simple dime, often overlooked by others, becomes the star of the show. The tension builds as bidders push the price higher and higher, until suddenly a coin worth only 10 cents on its face sells for $40,000, $50,000, or even close to $90,000. Those who witness such sales walk away in awe, realizing the extraordinary power that rarity and collector passion can have. For everyday people, The story of the 2008 dime offers a reminder that treasures can hide in plain sight. A coin that most people spend without hesitation might just be the missing gem in a collector's set. It encourages everyone, from seasoned numismatists to casual hobbyists, to look a little closer at the coins in their pocket change. The discovery of a rare coin often feels like striking gold, and for the lucky few who stumble across an extraordinary 2008 dime, that's exactly what it is. It's important to remember, of course, that not every 2008 dime is worth thousands of dollars. The vast majority are worth face value, with only those in remarkable condition or with rare minting errors commanding the incredible prices of $35,000 to $90,000. But that's what makes the hunt so thrilling. The idea that a coin most people ignore could hold life-changing value. That element of chance keeps collectors engaged and continues to draw new people into the world of numismatics. The design of the dime itself plays a role in this enduring fascination. Roosevelt's dignified portrait, combined with the symbolism on the reverse, makes it a coin that feels distinctly American. It represents leadership, liberty, peace, and strength. It's a design that collectors never tire of, even after decades of collecting. To find an example of this coin from 2008 in pristine or error-struck form is to find not just a collectible, but a piece of artistry and history preserved in metal. Collectors who own one of these extraordinary 2008 dimes often speak about the pride of holding it, the feeling that they are custodians of something incredibly special. Unlike most investments, rare coins carry not only financial value but also historical and emotional weight. They connect us to the past, to the minting process, to the errors and chance moments that created them, and to the collectors who cherish them across generations. So the next time you see a dime dated 2008, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Take a closer look. Check the condition, examine the details, and consider its story. Because while most are ordinary, there remains the possibility that one could be extraordinary. A coin worth between $35,000 and $90,000. That's the magic of coin collecting. The potential for history, artistry, and immense value to come together in something as small and overlooked as a dime. The 2008 dime shows us that even in our modern era, when coins seem commonplace and often underappreciated, there are still incredible treasures waiting to be discovered. And that is why this coin continues to captivate collectors and inspire new generations to keep searching, one coin at a time.